This reaction is brought to you by the Wish Bus, not because they're sponsors, but because their videos have typically been very good. When I say typically, I mean pretty much every video I've ever heard from the Wish Bus has been at least very good. So I have no reason to believe that this would be less than that. And it's kind of been blown up a little bit. Been on my list for about a week to get to, and we're just gonna do it. Now, something I may address, if the entire song is not in English, I will address what I'm actually listening to, because no, I don't speak Tagalog. Other than like hello or something like that. Like I don't speak that. So you may wonder like, well, what the fuck are you listening to, man? So if we get into this video and it's like dope, then I will actually address what it is that, like how I'm listening to it, given that it's a language that I don't speak. How do you listen to it? Which is, it doesn't really matter that it's Tagalog. It could be German or French or Italian or Korean or Japanese. It doesn't matter, because once you can put your brain in the spot of how you're perceiving the music, it makes a lot of sense. Which, by the way, English speakers were listening to French music 300 years ago. They liked it. So what were they listening for? Same shit. Same shit. But let's go. Let's do it. Wish Bus.
Oh. Oh.
Oh. Oh. Ah, it's so funny that I'm saying oh and he's saying oh. Because I first heard that guitar and I'm like, oh. But then the guy in the back is also going oh. See? It doesn't matter where, like, what region you're in. You listen to it, oh, hey, oh.
Oh.
Yes, Bigfoot Rammstein. Du hast mich.
Ewan ko kung paano ko bibit-bitin yung pagtingin ko, kasi ako rin naman to kimkimin, kaso mukhang hindi ko pa rin to sa'yo kayang banggitin, at baka istabin mo lang at di mo pansin. Okay,
so since it's already dope, I'll go ahead and tell you how I'm listening. It's not like a big secret, but if the song was weak, I would want to wait longer just because it's a weak song. No, this is already strong. So I'm not listening to them as vocalists. I mean, I am listening to their vocal performance, but I'm listening to their vocal performance as if it's another instrument, a cello or a bass, viola, horns, whatever. And that when you are hearing instruments in, say, an orchestra playing, or any type of structure, doesn't really matter. I'm only saying symphonic because there's so many instruments. But when the cello, or the, what's a good one? Bassoon is like, when they're playing their things, they're not actually speaking your language. They're speaking like kind of a universal language of music. And it's a universal idea of, are they talking to me? Am I getting the message they're receiving? And then you can like dive down on that. Like, are they speaking too quickly? Is there something wrong with like how they, how aggressive they are with their speaking? And so it's all just musical instruments. So it doesn't actually matter at all if I know the language, because I can listen to the sound of the vocal instrument and go like, oh, it's doing this, it's doing that, and it's making me feel a certain way. That's what I'm listening for. And it doesn't really matter who it is on planet Earth. You can listen to all music that way. Oh, so back up. We're going to talk about this guy. We might spend like a minute on this thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll stop after this and we'll just listen for a bit. But this first guy who's singing, I don't know which guy this is, but hold on, back up. So his singing style is very, when you think about elements of a note, there is how you make the note happen, how long it takes for that note to get to its volume, and then how it sustains and decays. So for example, on a guitar, you pluck it. How does the sound start? You pluck the note and it begins. But if you're singing, you don't pluck it. You put air through your passageways. Or if it's percussion, you strike it. So if you're doing percussion, when you strike it, it's almost like a vertical. You go straight from 0 to 100. Right? But then how does that note sustain? And then how does it decay? So with the guitar, it's always straight up decay, because you can never get louder after you pluck the note. It always falls off. But with your voice, you can always put more air into your note after the fact, and you can keep that level higher. So this guy's very so he's very percussive on his consonants, very percussive on his entrances, and he's driving the note very hard, and there's very little decay. He's kind of falling off a little bit of that at the end of his phrase. And I bet the other three guys don't sound the same way. They all sound different.
Ayoko rin naman to kimkimin, kaso mukhang hindi ko pa rin to sa'yo kayang banggitin. At baka istabin mo lang at di mo pipirat gin ang inumin yung tapang ay wala pa rin. San ko ihiramin, kahit maglasing wala rin kung pagising ko duwag pa rin ako nag-aaya. Paano tatama kung hindi ako tumatay?
Nice harmonies. The other guy is dialed down about half volume, but nice harmony.
Kaya minsan iniisip ko na wag na lang kaya, kaso yung isip ko ay nagbabago din maya-maya. At sobra sa pag-asa, kulang sa akong piyansa. Gusto ko lang naman ay maging popoy mo ba siya, yun ang matagal ko ng pantasya. Tagal na kita, tigan at hindi maiwasan na ikaw ay titignan sa
it's fucking delicious. It's very delicious. Not just the vocal performance, because, you know, you can have singers that you like, but you don't like the song. I like the groove of this whole thing. I like how everyone's flowing. And I'm not sure we've got a taste of the two dudes in the back. So I'm assuming it's just going to get even better.
Pinag-iisipan ko kung anong paraan para ikaw ay malapitan. Kaso nagawa na pagkatumaya ay wag mapahiya. Di lang ako kumikipo, matagal nang tumit.
So his voice is a little deeper. Not much deeper. So far, what we heard, I don't know his vocal range, but so far his timbre, which is like a characteristic of the pitch, you know, like when you sing a note, versus same pitch, but they're different. So his timbre is very low, which makes me think he's more of a bassist. Maybe not bass, but lower than these other two guys. So, yeah, that's what we're listening for.
Ipok ang puso ko para sa'yo, kaso minsan gumikirot. Di ko kasi masabi, di ako umaarte lang. Di ko lang kasi baka naman ako ay tablahin. Kaya tinatak sa isip ko na wag nang tangkain. Panaginip lang lahat ng yon, ako ay tampanahon na antayin ko na lamang. Kasi wala naman masama sa magtiyaga. Kung para sa akin ka edi mag-aabang ako hanggang sa merong mapala. Kaso wala nawa, tsaka baka mamuti lang ang mata pag nagantay ng...
Okay, so what he just did, right? It's not just the vocal aspect. Now you can start thinking about rhythm. Since he was speaking so quickly to rhythm, you can relate it to like a drum. So like if he was playing a drum, no, the drum would not sound as good as his voice. But what is the rhythm he's playing? Hold up, what's his voice? That's what just happened. Back up.
Kasi wala naman masama sa magtiyaga. Kung para sa akin ka edi mag-aabang ako hanggang sa merong mapala. Kaso wala naman magaga.
So he did 2 sets of 16ths and 3 sets of 16ths. So he'd be like ba-ga-da-da-ga-da-da, ba-ga-da-da-ga-da-da-ga-da-da, ba-ga-da-da-ga-da-da, ba-ga-da-da-ga-da. I'm extending it. That's more than he actually did. But you know what I'm saying? So he's taking this thing where he's going two sets of 16ths and an ending, 3 sets of 16ths and an ending. Ba-ga-da-da-ga-da-da, da-ga-da-da-ga-da-da-ga-da-da, da-ga-da-da-ga-da-da, da-ga-da-da, ba-ga-da-da-ga-da-da. So it's very percussive. And you can hear that. It doesn't matter what language it is.
Ganap lalo pag wala akong ginawa, tsaka baka mamuti lang ang mata pag nagantay ng himala. Di naman malabo na mapansin mo ko kapag di ako nagtatango, gusto ko na magkatayo. Wala naman kasing ibang para ako sa takot ay magpapatalo. Kawawa lang ako ng tingin sa malayo. Kailangan ko yan na magbago sa tigan at hindi maiwasan na ikaw ay titignan sa malayuan. Na pinag-iisipan ko kung anong paraitan. Kaso malayo ang pag-iisan. Hanggang kailan kaya mag-aabang kung may mapapala. Tumaya ay wag mapahiya. Kay tagal na di pala kung iisipin mo kaso hindi.
Oh, hold up. Is it the first time I've seen Red Jacket do his thing? Hold up, Red Jacket.
Kailan kaya mag-aabang kung may mapapala. mapapala sa aking ginagawa na pagkatumaya ay huwag mapahiya. Kay tagal na di pala, kung pala to alam, sinong sisisihin ko, kundi sarili ko na labis sa takot na baka mapahiya lang. Torti man na kung ituring ay wala akong pakadaman. Sana din iyo tong maramdaman na mahal kita na hindi mo alam. Nabihag mo kasi ganda mo.
Dude, he might be doing fives. Hold up, I'm meaning to back up. He might be doing fives all of a sudden, so if we're like bucket, am I too fucked up to count this? What's the hold on? What's the tip of the song?
Fantasy.
Hold on, back up.
Lang sa sasabihin na mga hibang gawa ng bakit sa nararamdaman.
The difference. Fours. One E and a da. One E and a da da. One E and a da. I may have counted fives the whole time to cross that, but instead of one E and a, one E and a, two E and a, three and a, four E and a, one E and a, two E and a, three and a, four E and a, it could be takadinika 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 da. Takadinika 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 da. So you're cramming an extra note. You're doing quintuplets in there. I'm not sure if I'm hearing that correctly, but it feels like that to me. Could be wrong. Could be very, very wrong. Hold on. I'm just listening to this guy again.
Kung iisipin mo kaso hindi mo pala to alam, sinong sisisihin ko kundi sarili ko na labis sa takot na baka mapahiya lang. Akong pakialam sa sasabihin na mga hibang gawa ng pakay sa nararamdaman. Sana din iyo itong maramdaman na mahal kita na hindi mo alam. Na busy, yan ang pinoproblema ko. Ako ay simple lang kasi paano ba kita mapapaibig? Mapapaibig sa mga matay di makatadiskarte ko. Magkaloko-loko kaso hindi ko na mapigilan na ikay masolo ko. Sa panong atake, kita makakaunaka, ikay magula. Mag-ako na bakit na, kapag sa dibdib ko'y matig na. Nais ko lang ay malaman mo na noong pa may matagal na kita. Higan at hindi maiwasan na ikaw ay titignan sa malayuan.
So we always have surprises, I think, on the Wish Bus. Skusta Clay, if I'm saying his name right, Skusta Clay was this dude who like just was surprisingly like R&B, like so much swag, so much like just flavor. Just caught me off guard. I've only heard the one song by him. Skusta Clay. If you want to hear a guy who you think, you look at him, if you're going to judge a book by his cover, you look at him, you think, I thought he's going to be a rapper. He was just an R&B powerhouse. And these guys are, out of everything I've seen on the Wish Bus, it's not close. Everyone's attention to rhythm is just on point, and they're all killers. And sometimes what you'll see is like you have your singer, your like lead singer, your rhythm singer, or harmony singer, or whatever. Or maybe your harmony singer is like playing guitar or something, so you got like double duty. But every single one of these dudes' rhythm and their vocal pitch is on fucking point. They're like assassins. But it's like, you know what it's almost like? It's like Bone Thugs and Harmony reinvented 20 years later. It's like they got the harmony, they got the rhythm going down, and it's kind of shocking. Pretty ridiculous how good they are.
Pinag-iisipan ko kung anong paraan para ikaw ay malapitan. Kaso malayo ang pagitan. Mag-aabang kung may mapapala sa aking ginagawa na pagkatumaya ay huwag mapahiya. Sundan, dinwasan na ikaw ay titignan sa malayuan. Pinag-iisipan ko kung anong paraan ang pagitan.
Bro, that's why you gotta follow the views sometimes. Why did I pick it? Like, why was it on the list? Simple reason. I stalked the Wish Bus, and I saw these guys were like popping off like, I don't know, a week ago. I don't know when this video came out, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And I was like, that's kind of weird, you know, things pop off on the Wish Bus. The Wish Bus usually is like, got a lot of great performers. But then I was like, I don't really know anything about them, and I don't know the name of the song. And so I put on the list and I didn't do it. And as I'm copying my list over, it just kept staying there. And then of course, we're not going to mention Mel Mel. We did mention Mel Mel. We just did it. Mel Mel said, "Thank you for supporting Filipino musicians." I think she was talking about Morissette in particular. But this was on the list, so we did it, and stupid good. It's so, I mean, I kind of want to go back and play some Scoots to Clay for you, but it makes my editing like really fucked up and troubling to do that. But I'm not a bitch. Hold on, this just in. I'm not a bitch. The only reason I would not show you that video, not me, we're not gonna do me reacting to it, but the only reason I would show that to you is because it makes it harder for me to figure out how to edit afterwards. You know what? Hey, not a bitch, not a bitch. So let's listen to a little bit of that. I'll figure out in post-production how to deal with it. This guy also caught me so off guard. I hope that y'all are here to hear this if you've not heard it before, because it really fucking... Do you see him in the thumbnail? Do you see him in the thumbnail? Hold up. Hold up. Is it ever gonna load? Okay, hold on. Pause on that scene. Pause on this real quick. I already told you what's going on, but look at that. Look at the swag going on. Look at that fucking jacket with the graffiti print, and we got the hat on, right? We've got the neck tats, and I assumed, wrongly, but I assumed like, oh, this dude's gonna rap, and he's just gonna like be a great rapper. Let's do like, a little bit of this, a little bit. I'll clean it up in post. We'll figure out a way to finish this, but I haven't heard it in like a month.
Gabi-gabi na lang kitang naiinig, gabing di makatulog dahil sa iyo. Which 107.5 Nagabang kahit sa ni mahawakan at mayak.
Am I fucking with you? This is the same exact thing that happened with me to BTS when I first heard Singularity by Taehyung. Same thing. Same exact thing. It looks different, but it's the same judgment and the same like being like, oh no. Dahil tanggap ko na malabo ang maging kaya umaasa na lamang ako'y magtsatsaga akong maghintay. Come on now. Come on now. That motherfucker is good. I'm just saying. Later, Bams. Like, you just don't know what you're gonna find until you dig for it. You know? And like I said, I'm being super honest, I thought he was just gonna be like a dope rapper because he looks like a dope rapper. He's got that look. He's got that feel to him. I've never seen him before. And then all of a sudden, he comes in with the R&B and just nails it. Just crushes it. And, yeah, man. I think if there's a moral of that story is dig. Keep digging. Always keep digging because you don't know what people are capable of until you dig into what they do. You know? You gotta dig. Dude, some of the most important things in my whole life. I guess we're still on the reaction. Sorry, we're still on the reaction video. If there's anyone here. Sorry, we got live and the reaction. But like my whole life was changed. When I sat in on a high school concert, I was in high school. I wasn't like a fucking stalker, but some artist came in and not artist, like somebody from a college, a professor came in and played like 3 songs, 2 of which were kind of lame. One was pretty dope. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then, you know, like a month later, I'm not sure the time frame, 2 months, 3 months, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know. But after this guy played some guitar shit, I was already playing guitar. I was playing like electric guitar, and this guy was playing classical. Then there was this bin way back in the day. They would have these bins of CDs that were like $1 because nobody wanted them, and I would dig through there looking for stuff, and all I saw was classical guitar. That's all I saw. I was like, this guy was at my school and he played classical and it was kind of cool. And then I grabbed these CDs that were like $1 for classical guitar, and it changed my whole life. But, right, the dude on the cover of that classical shit would have never, ever, ever fucked with it. But because of somebody else, I dug into it, and boom. Years later, that's like a trajectory path, and it's a whole lifetime later. So like, I don't know how to tie all this together because I'm intoxicated, but it's like, if I just saw this guy's name, would I click on it? I don't know. Probably not. Oh, it's Wishbus. Okay, so maybe I'll click on it because of Wishbus, but not really, because there's shitloads of Wishbus videos. So why this one? You know what I mean? You're like, oh, well, it's got some views. Okay, so it's got some views. This guy looks like a rapper or whatever. Let's do that. And then I'm going into it with an expectation. And then dude just kills it on a whole nother level. Which is what just happened with the previous video. Well, it's the same video, but the previous video on the same video. I wish there was like a deep story to that. I don't think there is. There's not one. Just watching music and having fun. I don't know. Give shit a chance, I guess. Don't give everything a chance. You don't have enough life. You don't have enough time in your life to give everything a chance. But when some things look like they could be, it sounds stupid. I was gonna be like, oh, if things look like they could be good, give it a chance. People are like, why? Of course I do that. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I've got nothing smart to say. Just that this dude is fucking crazy talented, and that Flow G shit we just heard earlier was amazingly dope. And if you caught me 3 years ago, I would have never listened to either of them. Not because I was like racist or hating on Filipinos. Just like I didn't know what the Wishbus was. I didn't know about any of this stuff. And because like I went down a rabbit hole of some other random shit, it took me here. And because that took me here, I got a chance to hear this and be like, this is fucking absolutely like phenomenal. So go down those rabbit holes, man. Go down those rabbit holes. Maybe it sucks, but you don't know where the rabbit hole is going to take you to. It could take you somewhere like pretty fucking awesome, but maybe for a month or two it wastes your life because you just listen to shit and you're like, this is not as dope as what I would normally listen to. Give it a fucking chance. Give it a chance. I'm not saying listen to the same shitty song 10 times in a row. That's not what I mean by give it a chance. I'm saying like listen to like, 30 seconds or a minute of something and then bounce and go to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Keep digging, and you can dig through like, 20, 50, 100 artists pretty quickly. And it's numbers, man. Do you really think like if you find a culture you don't listen to, do you really think you're going to listen to 100 people in a row that all suck? I don't think that's true. So do that. Give them 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Listen to like 100 people in a different area. 15 seconds. Give them 15 seconds. Like do 5 seconds at the beginning, click in the middle, give them 5 seconds, click towards the end, give them 5 seconds. You're like a 5-second sample 3 times to the song. The odds that you're going to hear 100 people in a row that all suck, dude, that's really... I mean, any genre, it's very unlikely. Very unlikely. Yeah, I guess I just, went on a rant. And it's fucking done. But anyways, that song was super dope. Titig? Super dope. I think the best rhythm I've heard on Wishbus. Peace!